Welcome to LSR Live, a highly anticipated episode on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. I'm your host, Scott Ritzema, and many of you I know have been looking forward to this episode to finally get your questions answered about store items in the LSR store. What things are in there that maybe you didn't even know were in there. We're going to have LSR's own Vanessa Cumberbatch, the manager of the store, as well as our good friend Josh, who you remember from a few times ago as well, as the coordinator of shipping. And we're going to talk about natural remedies products, a very, very popular subject on LSR. And I know the question is already being asked. Don't delight in talking about myself, but Scott Ritzema, why the black eye? Aren't you into health? What do? Go to the bar? No, I don't go to the bar, but I did get in a bar fight this week. I got in a fight with a bar, a low-hanging bar that was stable at a playground, and I was in motion. And you may be aware that the velocity and mass produce an item called momentum in physics that was not agreeable to my cranium. So I walked pretty fast into that bar, and wow. It doesn't hurt that badly. Don't feel bad for me. We're going to move right on from that. So from now on, if anybody joins the live late and they're like, why does Scott have the black eye? Can somebody answer that in the chat? Because I don't want to say it again and again. Jeremy, don't bring that question up. But please bring your questions. We're doing this live so you guys can interact. Ask Vanessa and Josh your questions. Jeremy, bring them up. Let's see all the products they've got at the LSR store there. We're going to chat about these. You ask your questions, guys, and this is your chance to get the expert take on this. And we'll do FAQ as well, because a lot of questions already come in by email, and we know many of you are already wondering. But this is an exciting time of year, isn't it, guys? I mean, people are buying gifts. Folks are going to buy gifts, and a lot of times it's sweets, it's junk, it's going to not actually make people more happy. You get a pleasure rush when you eat a bunch of sugar or whatever, but how about actually giving the gift of good health, natural remedies, improved hormone balance, fighting illnesses, cleanses, detoxes, immune boosters? I mean, we've got a whole table full of awesome stuff. So we're going to have QR codes on the screen so you guys can go right to those. You're going to learn about discounts, special discounts that are happening for the holiday season as well. So Josh and Vanessa, thank you for hosting this wonderful table of, this is like a cornucopia to me of goodies, like right out of a stocking. What's your favorite item on there, Josh?
And you want to have something that's like got that feel of meat. You can flavor these things however you want. I like to put mine with tomato sauce and do kind of like a spaghetti dish. You can put pasta with it. You can flavor them however you want. They're dehydrated, so you rehydrate them, but they come with instructions and recipe ideas. So those are nice. Probably my favorite savory thing to put those back.
Vanessa, could you tell our listeners, as far as soybeans go, is this a highly processed soy product that's refined and ultra processed and unhealthy, or is this actually a nutritious? I know it is, or you wouldn't sell it, but tell us about, I love soy curls. I want to hear them vindicated.
Well, soy curls, it's processed in the sense that it's soy that is it's dehydrated, and then if you don't know what dehydrated means, it's just the water is sucked out of it. So you have soy probably blended with some water or something. I'm not quite sure what the process is that the company uses, but they dehydrate it and become solid, and then they just kind of they dehydrate it kind of into curls, which is why they're called soy curls. And I don't know if you can tell at all from the camera if that could be zoomed in at all. We'll just hold it here, see if it can be zoomed in. Maybe try over here. I don't know if you could see. They're shaped into little mini curls. And they just get rehydrated. Like, you can put them in hot water or warm water for about 10 minutes, and they will just blow up. They will increase in like 3 times the size. So this little bag, don't think it's a small bag. It will actually make large quantities. And then after it rehydrates, then you will just you will drain all the water from there, and then you will season it however you want. Now, some of the things that you could use that we have here at our store is we have our vegan chicken style seasoning. So if you're thinking, I kind of want to make like a chicken style type of dish, then you have our chicken style here. It's a vegan chicken style seasoning here. You can see that if you like that, in addition to your salt and your garlic and your onion and all of that. And then we have our beef style. So if you're thinking, I kind of want like a little beef style dish flavor thing going on, then you can consider our beef style seasoning. Of course, you can use your own thing. Like Josh mentioned, you can use tomato, you can use the fresh herbs, you can use the garlic and the onion, you could use tomatoes. You can use any of those things to flavor it yourself, whatever way you want to. But this is just some of the ways that we flavor it here.
You're making me hungry. Why do we keep doing this? We were watching the ladies cook last time, and here we are enjoying to talk about the soy. By the way, the soy curls, if you're trying to move to more plant-based, phytonutrient-rich, good quality plant protein, plant fats foods, the soy curls are a good bridge over from, chewing on the chicken. I enjoy lentils and beans, and I don't necessarily, at this point in my culinary journey, need something that's like got that kind of consistency. But if you've got family members, you want to bless them with a holiday meal and you're trying to get healthier, those soy curls are a fan favorite for people who are moving from the, that texture kind of the meat texture over to something. And it's not some super ultra processed, gross, manufactured food that's trying to mimic meat, but then it's actually not even healthy. These are healthy. It's just soybeans. So that's awesome.
I want to also just add to that, Scott, that there's like a controversy. People are confused. They're like, isn't soy bad for you? Isn't it cancer causing? Doesn't it mess up your hormones? Soy is a bean. It's a legume. Just like you have the black beans and the lentils and the red beans and everything, it is such a wonderful source of protein. And those that are Barbara O'Neill fans sometimes get confused and they think, no, Barbara's anti-soy. No, how come you guys are teaching about soy or sharing soy products or things of that nature? And you can actually, if you look very carefully, Barbara O'Neill is not anti-soy, especially in her hormone lecture. She talks about the benefits of the soybean. The soy has what we call phytoestrogen, not xenoestrogen, which is the one that's cancer causing. And people are afraid, if I have breast cancer or I have cervical cancer or any kind of hormonal type cancer, is soy going to, make it worse? And the answer is no. She even talks about it in her hormone lecture, how the phytoestrogen actually helps fight against cancers of that nature. So as long as it is not GMO soy, then you should be okay. Whether it be non-GMO soy or organic soy, you should be fine. And it is such a wonderful source of protein.
Excellent. Well, what's next? I asked Josh what his favorite was. Maybe I should ask Vanessa, what is your favorite item on the table?
That is very difficult. That is very difficult. I love food. It's very hard to answer your question, Scott. I love the food. I cook it every day. Soap. I love I'm the nature person here, the natural person here. We're not saying that other people don't like natural or unnatural. What I mean is I'm big on natural ingredients and natural products. So I'm biggie on using the natural soaps. We have our bar soap here. I love this one. This one's a forest tonic soap. It kind of smells like Christmas a little bit, like a winter wonderland in the woods, kind of. It smells so good. Then we have our pink clay and salt soap. We have our Castile soap here. Our Castile soap. Now this is our liquid soap. It's natural. And then we have our bar soaps here. Now what I really like about these bar soaps, it took me a very long time to find bar soaps that I was comfortable with, because there are natural soap bars that are sold in many, many places. But I had a hard time finding some that I thought were economical and that also were 100% natural. Now, what I love about these bar soaps specifically that we have is that it is all natural. I mean, even the different colors that it has, it's made from a different color. It's made a different color by using natural things, like anything orange will have like carrot seed powder, or if it's kind of reddish, it will have like beet powder. If it's green, it'll use like chlorella. If it's black, it'll use like charcoal. This one right here is pink, and it gets its pink from the actual pink salt, because this is a pink pink clay and salt. So it gets it from the pink clay and from the salt. So the colors you see are not artificial, which is wonderful, because when you're putting that on your body, you want to make sure you have natural stuff, because our skin is the largest organ that we have, and it absorbs everything that you put on it. So I love our bar soaps, and I love that it's the fragrance is from essential oils, so it's also not artificial. So that's some of my favorite things there. I love my soaps there, the food. Essential oils, I am big on essential oils here. I do an essential oil class. I can actually talk a couple hours just on essential oils. We have I love my my salves here. I actually have, I'll talk more about this later, but I have one of the salves here. I have my own salve here, and I just use it like a lotion, or I'll put it on my face. This one specifically is calendula, and we'll talk more about some of the things later. But I'm very much into using natural stuff on a daily basis. So as you can see, Scott, it's hard for me to answer your question.
I know. Well, let me take a turn. Let me take a little load off of you. Because it's like, can you just say the whole table, everything is tied for my first favorite? So I'll give you a loophole and out on that, and I'll tell you, I'll take a turn. I know I say it every time, and there's the food Vanessa was mentioning. You got chia seeds, you got flax seeds. Be sure to grind your flax seeds, and don't stick them in the cupboard and eat them 6 months later. Grind them with a little coffee grinder and eat them. Chia seeds are awesome. These are such super nutrient dense foods. But what I was going to say, Jeremy got me threw me off there, our producer, by putting that QR code up. Jeremy, put the Revita Guard up. I want you guys, the throat spray, and Josh, tell them your new technique with the throat spray and the nasal spray.
If you're in a hurry, you could just do a double barrel and put 2 of them in there at a time. You'll get on to work. That's not this one. I don't have 2 of these right now.
You got the throat spray and the sinus one.
Oh yeah, you can do both at the same time. You get it's like rub your head and pat your belly kind of thing. You just do it one. Just buy one of each and try them all.
So hypothetically, you could have 2 Revita sinuses going into each sinus at the same time, and somebody else spraying the Revita Guard in your throat. And you will never get sick again because of such enthusiastic application. We are not diagnosing, treating, preventing, or curing anything. Of course, that was a joke. But Revita Guard throat spray, man, there's a reason that I'm promoting that on live all the time, because it works. I mean, this Revita Living stuff, the Revita Guard, Revita Sinus, and the Revita Hands, the hand sanitizer. This is a phenomenon, folks. I mean, it's like 4.9 stars. That doesn't just happen to, junk products. It works. People are finding it really works during cold and flu season. That one with a little bow on it, it would make a great gift. And those soaps, by the way, that's like a perfect gift, folks. You want to order those and see what they smell like. And when you give that to a mother, a sister, ladies love that kind of thing. I don't imagine that you're necessarily going to give the soap to a dude, but I don't know. What do you think, Josh?
Hey, we got some dude soap.
All right.
I think you like patchouli, right?
Yeah, patchouli.
We have a patchouli. I don't know if we're out of stock or not, but I know we have the patchouli soap, and that one actually is kind of manly. I mean, I like it because it's like I told you, like that Christmas tree kind of smell. But I can totally see a man. Come on, you tell me.
That's the lumberjack flavor scent.
That's right. If you want to smell like a woodsy dude, you get you a bar of this stuff and scrub it everywhere you want to feel pretty.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So what kind of, okay, so we got dandelion. Tell us about the dandelion. I know you were going to get to it because you said you wanted to talk about those, Vanessa, but tell us specifically about that one. Why is that salve so special?
Okay, so if just going to backtrack a little bit. For those of customers that are familiar with Living Springs Retreat, and those of you that have already probably ordered from us for a while now, you might be familiar with our Father's Healing Herbs salves, which are salves that we would sell a lot a while ago, but we've been out of stock of those for a while. And just a little bit, I actually want to talk about this because we get a lot of people now asking us, when are we going to have their products back in stock? And I just want to mention that we do have them on our website and it's showing out of stock often, but I'm not taking it off the website because we still do sell them. But the reason why they're out of stock often is because that company is ran by an elderly couple, and it's kind of their side job, not their main thing. So they send us the orders or the products as they're able to make them and send it to us. So I used to try to ask them, can you give things to us, on a regular basis? And they tried in the beginning, but then they just finally told us, we just can't keep up. It's just the two of us, we have other things going on. We're older. So they send it to us as they're able to. So in the meantime, I started researching other really good salves from different companies that perhaps we could sell instead that are also good quality. And Dandelion is one of them, Dandelion Naturals. And what we have here, specifically, we have the Breathe Easy. Now that was one of the salves that we had from our father's healing herbs. They had a breathing salve. So I try to find a replacement for that. And we have the Breathe Easy. Then there's a muscle and joint relief blend right here for people that have muscle and joint pain. This is another one that's completely new, which is if you have sleeping problems, just putting this on when you're trying to sleep at night, the Sweet Dreams one. This has become a bit of a popular one. We've been selling out of this one. And then another one that's for soothing itch. So we had the anti-itch salve from My Father's Healing Herbs. And this is another one that we have substituting for that. We have the calendula skin salve that I mentioned. That one's great. I gifted this one to my mom. She uses it for her skin on her face. She loves it. And then there's an herbal pain salve. So of course, if you have pain, this is a natural herbal pain salve that we use here. In addition to that, just so you know, some other products, if you're thinking about pain management, we have the Deep Blue rub by doTERRA, which it's kind of like a natural, what do you call it? Bengay or Tiger Balm. Yeah. It's a more natural with essential oils. And if you're familiar with doTERRA at all, it's a very, very high quality essential oil company. So for pain management, we definitely recommend some of these salves and creams.
Yeah, this one works. I've had to use this before because I was in a bike wreck. I was in 3 of them, but the one that was the worst, I had to use this to help with my shoulder to kind of deal with the pain. So I was still doing massage and stuff like that, but this helped take the edge off. So yeah, so that one I know personal. The other ones I've not tried myself, but the Deep Blue definitely works.
Josh, you're in the shipping coordination work there in there. Which of these items are, flying off the shelves the most?
The essential oils. It's on the top row here. I don't know if they can get a camera shot of these. The essential oils, they sell a lot of these. But the most popular, I don't think that she's got to it yet, is the Anna's Wild Yam Cream, which is on a different shelf.
Yeah, all the Wild Yam creams, actually.
Yeah. So the different wild yam creams, because I guess in general, and we can't help it, we have a hormone imbalance as a nation, and we're just trying to get that back in balance. You don't take those things forever. You take them for a season until you get better. You change your diet, but sometimes that will help give you the edge you need to get the body back where it's supposed to be, so you can sleep better, you can think more clearly, you can not have hot flashes, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, these products over here are definitely good.
What's the difference between the Anna's and the other brand?
Okay, so we get that question often where people contact us all the time and they're like, I have a hormonal imbalance. I'm dealing with, fibroids or menopause or infertility or whatever. Which cream would be best for me? I see you have a variety. And the answer is any of them. You can choose any of them. They are all designed to do the same thing. The only difference is that, well, there's a few differences, not what they do. What they do is the same. But what the differences are is some of them are in a pump. Okay, for example, here, it's a pump. You could just go ahead and squeeze it and apply it that way with a pump, so you don't have to actually dip your finger in it. So some people prefer that. And we have 2 different companies. We have the Made Down on Woodruff Farm Wild Yam Comfort Cream, and then we have the Wild Yam Cream here by Heavenly Scents Organics. They're both pumps. What are the difference between them? There's a little differences in the ingredients because people have different sensitivities. Some people are more they might have allergies to certain herbs and not to other ones. So they might respond better. So I have people sometimes that they use one and then they don't respond as well to that one. So they try another one and they respond better to that one. It just depends sometimes on the person. Then we have the Anna's now with the new packaging. It's in a tube form like you see in the QR code now. So before the Anna's was kind of like a jar here where you would dip your finger in it. And now you're not. You're just squeezing the tube. So it's in tube form, and then you have the other ones that are still in jar form like this, where you can dip your finger, and their sizes are different as well. So you have 1.7 ounce right here with the pumps. You have 2 ounces with these, the jars right here. We have the men's cream and the women's cream, and then we have the 3.5 ounces or 100 grams with the Annas. So that's the difference too, is the size of it, the way the packaging of it, and maybe a little difference in the ingredients. But the main ingredients would be wild yam and chaseberry. They all have those as the main ingredients.
Okay. And you mentioned that people ask that question a lot. Another question that people ask a lot, and Jeremy, you can load up the questions that people are asking live too. We can start to take those anytime. But the Revita Sinus nasal spray, you've got to shake the bottle before you spray it, because folks are so used to the Revita Guard throat spray. It's all tasty and mint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna see this one.
The Revita spray is so tasty and minty. But then you go right to the nasal and you spray it just like you do the throat, but you forget to shake it, and some of that iodine in there can settle and it can burn. So you got to have that properly diluted by shaking that bottle of the Revita Sinus. Jeremy, do we have questions, or do either of the two of you want to say, here's one thing that we didn't touch on yet before we go to any questions?
You want to talk about your favorite treat over there?
Oh man, this one here. Yes, man. I talked about this last time, didn't I?
Go ahead. We're in winter season
now. Oh
now.
yeah, this is winter season. Now you can do it. So if you don't want to come off coffee, you want to use this stuff right here. So you can put that in a cup. This is carob. So this gives the chocolate to the coffee. You've got those two together. And I know somewhere on this table, she's probably got peppermint essential oil. You can put a drop of that in there. Oh my goodness. It's like one of those peppermint patties. So you can do that for your desserts. So you got like the fake chocolate flavor, and there's no caffeine in there, but you got all the flavor, all the punch. Put it with a healthy fat. You remember me talking about that? Trade away the unhealthy fat for the good fat. Put some coconut milk in there. And it's so lush. It's cold outside. You know how that song goes? So we're going to have some of this Cafix drink. Cookbooks. The girls already talked about this in the other video. I'm not even going to get into those, because they made those yummy recipes for Thanksgiving. Y'all remember that? Mm-hmm. But that's definitely my favorite. I'm probably going to have some of that tonight. When we finish this shoot, y'all know what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
So there's the carob powder QR code.
Oh, thank you for that.
So that's our chocolate substitute there, or chocolate substitute. Don't ever go and tell anybody, hey, I made you a fake chocolate drink. They're not going to want to drink it if you use the word fake. It is a chocolate substitute, carob powder.
Yeah.
And then we have our coffee substitute, Cafix.
This is what John the Baptist had right here. That's good.
Yeah. Locust and wild honey, carob and wild honey, actually. So you sweeten the stuff. And is it true that if you add the Cafix to your carob products, to your carob desserts, that it actually takes some of that carob edge off of it?
Mm-hmm.
It is such a good combination.
Yeah, that's so good.
It's really good.
You can simulate dark chocolate with that if you want. You need a salt too. Now remember, pink salt.
Yeah, put a little bit of salt in there. It's crazy, but you put a little bit of salt in sweet things, and it brings out the sweetness. Mm-hmm. So put a little bit of salt in the drink here, and it'll just that with the honey, a little bit of milk in there. It's so good.
Listen, remember, as far as cooking and flavors, because I'm very food motivated. Your triad of yumminess is healthy fat, healthy salt, healthy sweetener. When you take those three in any combination, you can make anything palatable. So just remember that. Get you a good salt, a good healthy fat, and a good sweetener.
I love how you're saying healthy, because those are the three that the big food industry with their ultra processed food exploit with our taste buds, and they make it just the dials on these exactly with genetically modified foods and with MSGs and other artificial ingredients that just tickle the brain neurons. And they have laboratories where they're looking at people's brains and watching how this flavor of this chip that we added actually makes people have a neuron over here, a brain passageway over here, that a pathway that makes you crave this particular soda that's owned by this particular chip brand. I mean, they're using mega food science of counterfeit food. It's not even real food. You guys are providing the good alternative at your table there. I love it because it's healthy desserts and people can enjoy it. You know, it's not like we're not going to enjoy food. I enjoy food more now doing the way that you're teaching right now than I used to. I mean, you get a great high when you have a big, Mountain Dew or an ice cream dessert, a bunch of candy and, junk chocolate food, but, McDonald's Big Macs, but you get a rush, but you feel like garbage. So I'd rather feel healthy and happy and have energy.
That's it. Those things will take you from the uttermost to the guttermost, and you don't want to do that. These salts here, I know this is just one of them, but these are like the pink salts or the
those are the
Celtic salt. Yeah, this flavor. Oh my goodness! Once you use these, you grind them up real nice and put them with your food, you'll never go back to that cheapy stuff that we grew up with. I don't even know what it's called. White salt, iodized salt. When it rains, it pours.
Regular table salt.
I'm not going to say which company that is that has that slogan, but anyway, it's because they put stuff in there that's not supposed to be in there to make it pour. These are yummy. Yeah, I mean, you just have to buy it and try it.
They're filled with minerals, so you can taste it. That's the difference. Even the Celtic sea salt, when you just put it by itself in your mouth, it tastes so good. We give that to our guests when they, especially after they do saunas, we give that to them to help rehydrate them and replenish some of the minerals they lost during sweating in the sauna. And it just tastes so good. You just put it a little bit in your mouth and and you let it just dissolve and then you chase it with water afterwards. It's not like that overpowering table salt where you just feel like, give me a glass of water now. It feels so disgusting. No, it actually tastes quite nice, especially when they're fasting, to have that little salty flavor. Since they haven't had any food, it's really nice.
Yeah, it tastes good. It takes the edge off.
Well, and that the minerals in the salt are so needed in our diet because the depleted soils can produce fruits and vegetables and grains and legumes that have their vitamins, but the minerals come directly from the soil. And if the soil is depleted, you're not getting enough micronutrients, enough minerals in particular. And so the salt can replenish some of that, as you're saying, Vanessa. So that's a needed item. People think, well, I'd better not put any salt on my food because I'm trying to get healthy. No, use this as an opportunity to make your food a little more enjoyable. Get the right amount of salt. We're not saying eat enormous quantities of salt, but get your minerals through that mode of nutrition. And God gave us salt. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of God, this is a Christian ministry caring about all people of all faiths and all cultural backgrounds. I want you to share also the literature. Do you have a reader in your family? Do you have somebody who likes history? Do you have somebody who likes Bible prophecy? This is one of the best-selling, most read, most loved books that I have ever encountered, and I see it everywhere. It's called The Great Controversy. Tell us about that, Josh.
Oh, this is awesome. I like this cover because you can turn it one way and turn it the other way. And so I'm going to turn it this way. And you can see here, Washington, you turn it this way. That's Vatican. Very cool. So imagine what would happen if a political superpower combined with a religious superpower. What would that be like? We don't have to worry about the future or wonder about the future because you can look at history where it has already happened before. And then figure out, read the book. It's over 400 pages and see, is this going to happen again? Is America in this thing or not? And it's a great book. I've read it. I've had it read to me because my vision. A lot of times, Aaron has read this to me. Love it. And
so it's rich in Bible history.
It is history, yes.
And it also helps us to know what is to come. And it helps us to understand some of the things that we're living now, that we're seeing now. And we have this religion has become a lot more accepted now, especially in the United States. So we have there the capital there because it's how is the United States and the Bible, are they related in any way? Is the United States even mentioned in the Bible? And it actually is. It's just not called the United States.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So it's just a great book that we give specifically to our guests, to every guest that comes here to one of our programs. We give that because it's just important to know the history of where we came from, of this nation, and to understand a little bit better the things that are happening today in society.
Right. You kind of know where you're going when you see where you've been. And history repeats itself. You know that, Scott. You're a history major. You know all about it.
Well, I couldn't emphasize what you guys are saying any more than you said it. And I can tell you this, folks, The United States is in Bible prophecy, as Vanessa said, not by that name, but clearly identified. And we're going to see in the last days of Earth's history, according to Bible prophecy, religion, false religion, enforced.
Yeah.
And so if folks are coming for the health content and they're like, okay, sometimes they weave their faith in, and you know what, this is front and center because it's what motivates the caring about people is to live like Jesus did. And I want everybody to be clear that when we talk our religious Christian faith, it is not of the ideology that seeks to impose by force and dominion any sort of religious dogma. It's an invitation of Jesus Christ to any person to accept or reject, and I believe that it's worthy of considering and accepting, because who can find a better religious figure in all of human history than Jesus of Nazareth?
Exactly. That's it. The whole thing that we do is to present the truth, which the book with the Bible. But to be able to understand the truth, you got to kind of detox the body. And that's why all these things that you're seeing here, the things that we take in, the things that we put on our body and in our body, we're trying to give you that edge so that you can think clear. Now you can look at the truth that's laid before you and choose this day who you will serve.
Absolutely.
That's the whole point of what we do.
I want to actually.
Yeah, please.
I want to actually, based on piggyback on what Josh just said regarding detox. As I think our viewers know, we are a health retreat, and our main program that we have here is a detox wellness program. So we have a lot of people that they want to know. They're like, well, besides going to one of your programs, is there anything I can do at home to detox? Right. And of course, many of you know, hopefully know, and are going to hear about a little bit later, that we have an online detox course. But besides our online detox course, there are some things you could do in addition to all that. Even if you've taken our online course, even if you've come here physically and you want to continue detoxing at home, what are some of the things you can do? Well, I just want to mention a couple of products here that can actually help you in that endeavor. I want to mention here essential oil called Zendocrine. It's a detoxification blend. So if you want to know what is something that I can take that's quick on the go, we have our doTERRA Zendocrine, which is our detoxification blend. You can take that. The instructions will tell you put some drops in water and you drink it different times of the day. You can also mix it with a carrier oil and put it under your feet on a daily basis, and that's going to help you detox as well. There's some wonderful ingredients in here that are detoxifying, like tangerine and geranium and juniper and rosemary. Now, in addition to that, we also have a new item here that we're selling now, our Ultimate Detox Herbal Blend. So there's a tea, an herbal tea that you can take that will help you also detox at home from the comfort of your home. Now, besides that, we also have bentonite clay. Now, I'm going to have Josh talk to us a little bit more about bentonite clay from some of his personal experience.
Yeah, this one, I went to a camp meeting in Kentucky several years ago, and it was a camp meeting where they have wilderness survival and foraging and how to figure out what's out there. Well, anyway, in this camp meeting, because of the setting, I got a brown recluse bite. So here comes the case in point. Dana, great friend, she has a different ministry there in Kentucky. She made a poultice of this stuff. It's like a poultice. It's like a nice goop of this clay, and put it on that spider bite to pull all that poison out. Didn't have to go to the doctor. Didn't have to do any of that stuff. Have your flesh eating away from that type of spider bite. This pulled all of that poison out. Real simple. So you just wet it with water, put it on there, and put a little bandage over it, and just kept replacing it every few hours. And I'm thinking, clay, is that in the Bible? It is. So it's powerful stuff. I think this was used one time to heal an eye condition that someone had.
And you were telling me something about your wife earlier today with
Yeah.
clay.
Oh, yes. This stuff, you can use it as a mask. Now, even if you're a dude, that's okay, because I've worn this stuff too. You take a nice little bowl with some and put some of that clay in there, put some water in there, and make it where you can spread it on like a mud mask, but it's clay, and let that dry, and you're going to look kind of funny. But when you wash that stuff off, it pulls everything out of those pores. And I wish she were here, but they can testify, and the camera crew, they're very healthy and youthful. So the things that they're doing are definitely working. And when the guests come, they're like, they look so young and youthful. It's the diet. It's the clay.
Yeah.
It's all of it together.
And I've done it myself on my face, and it leaves your skin super soft.
Exactly.
It makes your complexion look so nice. But in addition to that, we also have charcoal. Charcoal, oh man, I can't even tell you about charcoal. I mean, that we need a whole week to talk about the benefits of charcoal. Charcoal, we actually have an article. If you go to our website and you go to the health blogs on the menu, we have an article about charcoal, and it talks about charcoal. We call it black gold. But charcoal, you can take this internally, externally. You can drink it in water. I've used this for so many different things personally. But in talking about detox specifically, there are people that actually make charcoal poultices and put it on their liver. You know, the liver is here on the right side, starts in the front, and it's all the way to the back. It's a nice big poultice here to help detox their liver. Charcoal helps also absorb and eliminate toxins. And since our liver is the main thing that helps with that detoxification, the charcoal is really nice to put over your liver, especially people that are detoxing from different things like alcohol or cigarettes or drugs or anything chemicals, heavy detoxing. Putting this over the liver for 3 days throughout the night has been really, really helpful for them. In addition to that, we have hydrotherapy here. We have different treatments that you can do at home to help detox yourself. You can doing a sauna. We have our hydrotherapy book here that actually explains how to do some treatments at home. It's water treatments that you could do at home, not only for detoxing, but now as we're getting into the cold season and you want to know, what can I do if I catch a cold, if I have any kind of chest cold, or if I have a sore throat, or if I have a respiratory issue. Hydrotherapy here, this book here gives you some, it has actually, I don't know if you can see, some pictures and everything and instructions of things that you could do for some of these ailments that you may experience in the cold season. And of course, since I'm talking about the cold season, let me go ahead and jump into reiterating what Scott was saying with his Revita Living. I actually personally have the Revita Hands, the citrus one. I like that it has nice, pleasant smell, fragrance. And then I did use the sinus one as well. And I'm glad you mentioned, Scott, about making sure you shake it, because if not, it comes out kind of it's definitely not a nice sensation when you just pump it like that. So it's nice to actually just mix it up nicely and put it up. And now I like doing it. I don't know how you do it, Scott, but I like doing it over the sink, because sometimes I find that it'll just pour out. And if I'm not over the sink, then maybe have a piece of paper or something like tissue or something to make sure that you can catch some of it when it comes out.
That's one way. Another thing, and I know Josh likes his double barrel style, but what I do is I'll cover one nostril or plug one and spray and inhale. And that gets it all the way through the sinus. And there's not a whole lot is coming out in one spray. Right. So I'll do one, maybe two. And then there's not a lot of drippage. Maybe a few minutes later, some of it'll go into the throat, and that's fine. Or some of it'll drip and you get a Kleenex. But that sinus, I think, is underrated, because the throat spray is so enjoyable. This is what I was saying when I got knocked offline a few minutes ago. The throat spray is so tasty and enjoyable that sometimes we don't think to do the sinus. And I'm telling you, I've got family members that contrast me versus them in their commitment to doing these sprays when something's going around, and you can see the difference in the results. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm not perfect, and watch, now I'm going to get sick now that I said that. But I appreciate what you said as well. You can put a bunch of sprays up there and have it drip. I mean, just load yourself with this. There's nothing in there that you're getting too much of. I mean, if you're drinking bottles of the Revita Guard, that's going to be over the top because of the one product that's in there that we don't say on this platform. But the iodine, the rosemary, all the good stuff in there, super good for immune boosting.
Now, speaking of for your respiratory, I wanted to also mention our mullein leaf. We have mullein leaf. That's one of the teas that we also have. Our cold and flu tea. If you're thinking about, well, I want to drink something. Sometimes, especially when it's cold, it's like, I want to drink a nice tea, So our cold and flu, our cold and flu tea. We also have our mullein leaf tea that's excellent for the respiratory system. Now, if you want to know what some of these herbs are good for, now herbs have so many benefits to them that I couldn't even tell you all of them from the top of my head because it's just too much for me to remember. But if you actually go to our website and click on the different herbs we have there, there's some information there that tells you what these herbs are good for, because they're either really high in minerals or vitamins, or they're good for a variety of things. It could be good for just like 10 or 20 different ailments, and it's the same herb. Yeah, go ahead and talk about this one, Josh.
Almost if the camera may be able to pick that one up. He has a front camera here. This is a whole set of DVDs.
The series.
There we go. He's got it. I'm trying to figure out which camera to put that on. This is from Walt Cross. He's got a pretty similar accent that I do. He's from Tennessee. But this man, he is incredibly gifted and smart. He's a doctor, was in allopathic medicine, and found better results doing this naturopathic or herbal medicine, seeing better results. So he goes through there alphabetically through the different herbs. And Erin is watching this. That's my wife. She's taking notes, and she's sitting over there with her notebook, and it's so in depth. And he talks about the different herbs, what they do, or if you have this condition, it talks about how to make poultices.
Yeah.
How many discs are in there? I think 9 discs.
I want to go ahead and read what's on each disc.
There you go.
You have poultices and fomentations. You have infusions and decoctions. You have extracts, essential oils, part 1 and part 2. And then you have herbs, part 1 through 4, and that's what he's talking about. It goes starting from alfalfa all the way to wild lettuce. So it goes in alphabetical order. It talks about all these different types of herbs.
Yeah, that's amazing. So wild lettuce, that's painkiller, and that grows around here. And he's going to tell you in there that no matter where you are in the world, there's something that the Lord has put there ahead of time. So those leaves, those roots, those stems that you can use to heal the different things that unfortunately we suffer in this world until we get to the next one. But God didn't leave us without some help. So anyway, that's a really nice series. Definitely worth the money. Love that. And you'll watch it many, many times because it's so much to absorb.
You guys might remember our live viewers. We had an LSR live with Walt Cross, and that was one of the most popular LSR lives. And I think everybody knows somebody who still uses DVDs and would appreciate a physical product gift at Christmas, like we used to give so many DVDs. Some people still enjoy it.
We do. Actually, there's because it's been more of a social media type world now. There's a lot of things that you can see online now. So DVDs have gone down a bit, but we still have from time to time people wanting to know if we carry DVDs for different things. And we're like, we're so sorry, we have things online. And they're like, oh yeah, but I'm old school, I don't have internet all the time, or it's spotty where I am, or I still like my, good old DVD player. And so some people still like having that DVD and not having to depend on the internet so much.
That's it. I'm so old school, I got an 8-track mind. So that's way back there.
Vanessa, what are some other questions people ask that you answer, 50 times that our listeners right now can all get all at once?
Oh man. I wish the girls were here because they take those phone calls.
Yeah, but I get the emails.
or Vanessa, tell us about the Relax Mix tincture for addictions.
All right, so I talked about earlier, like for people that are trying to detox from cigarettes or alcohol or any kind of addiction type thing, the Relax tincture. We actually learned about this recipe from Barbara O'Neill. She came to we held a training program with her last year, and she was talking about how to make your own tinctures. And we learned how to make these tinctures from her. So we actually have the cough mix tincture that I mentioned earlier if you were trying to fight a cold or anything seasonal thing. And then we have a relaxed one here. We also have a liver tincture, but that seems to be one of our most popular ones. So that one's sold out at the moment. But we have our relax mix tincture here. Sorry, cameraman. Our relax mix tincture here that is good to help people that are battling with different types of addictions. It also has the name Relax because it does help people that are anxious or they have sleeping issues or anything of that nature. It it's in the name. It has properties in here that can help relax. It has passion flowers, skullcap, and St. John's wort. And then it has its instructions there. But I do want to actually move on to essential oils quickly. I want to talk about essential oils though. Now, there's a variety of essential oils. There are just so many out there. But I can only talk about a few of them because of time. I want to mention about, besides the sinus spray that we have here from Revita Living, one of the things that I really love is Deep Breath essential oil. Or if those of you that may be familiar with doTERRA products, doTERRA has an essential oil blend called Breathe. And this one is called Deep Breath by Eden's Garden. It is just like it, just different brand. And I will put this in my hand. Actually, let me go ahead and demonstrate. I have a little sample one here that I'll talk about in a minute.
Oh, man.
You want to try it?
Yes, let's do it.
All
We'll
right.
do some animal testing
Go
right
ahead.
here. Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh,
Like
man.
putting
Y'all
it in
smell
my
that at home?
putting it in the palms,
Yes.
and then just putting that over the
It's got these books right here.
putting that over the sinuses. And I just love that. Like if I'm in the go and I don't have my Revita Living or I don't have some of these other things, I can just have this on the go.
Let's go chop
I
down
can
a tree.
use. That's what?
Let's go chop down a tree now.
Go chop down tree.
Yes.
So it's the breathing that helps with breathing, and I'm going to talk a little bit more on how to use essential oils on the go. But that's the breathing. Frankincense. Now, unfortunately, since I was a child, I suffer with headaches and migraines and sometimes dizzy spells. And we haven't been able to figure out why. But how I cope, one of the ways I cope with it is I use frankincense and peppermint and lavender too. I use frankincense. I put 1 drop of that frankincense on my thumb, and then I put it on the roof of my mouth, and I take my thumb out and just kind of avoid my tongue touching the roof, so that it can get absorbed. And then I will get peppermint oil and I will rub that on the parts of my head where it actually hurts. Make sure you stay away from your eyes, because if it gets too close, it'll burn. Lavender as well. And I would say 8 out of 10 times, depending on what the reason is I have a headache, 8 out of 10 times, it will either take it away or it'll take the edge off. It will help me with those headaches. So those are some of the things that I use these for. Of course, there's numerous things these essential oils are good for. I also have Guardian here and Fighting 5. I don't know if anybody in the audience or even you, Scott, has ever heard of thieves oil. Thieves oil blend. And that is basically, just to quickly talk about why it's called thieves oil. There was these merchants that were into perfumery during the what was it? The Black Plague time, back in I forgot what year it was.
1300s.
What year?
The Black Plague was in the 1300s, 14th century. Yeah.
So they were merchants that they would do trade in spices and perfumes and different things like that. But when the Black Plague came, a lot of people started dying, and there wasn't much travel, and there wasn't so much of the trading and things with the ships. So they went out of business. So because they did know about the spices and the different perfumeries and stuff like that, they developed their own blend of essential oils to help combat the Black Plague, so they themselves wouldn't get sick. And it worked. It was try to remember what the ingredients are. It was clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, rosemary, and lemon. And because they ended up becoming thieves. They started robbing people's homes that were, being affected by the Black Plague. So that's why it's called thieves oil. But it actually worked, and they started, and it became a thing, and it got passed down to us. So now the different companies use that combination of oils, and they created their own blend. They call it different things, but it's basically thieves oil. You have Guardian or On Guard or Fighting 5. Now, the difference between Fighting 5 and Guardian, Fighting 5 has lemon and Guardian has orange. So they just switch their citrus, but they work wonderfully. And doTERRA has On Guard. I have here On Guard beadlets too that you can also take on the go. It's these tiny, tiny little beadlets. I can't show you, but they're tiny, tiny little beadlets that you would just take out and put in your hand. And then you just pop it like a Tic Tac, but it's much smaller than that. You will pop it and the essential oil will come out that way. So they're very travel friendly. So you can just have it in your pocket, in your purse, or anywhere, because it's very small like that. Instead of getting the essential oil that you need to either put directly in your mouth or in water, anything like that, this is a lot more travel friendly. And it really, really works well. But now I want to mention now on the go, besides the beadlets, what you can use. We have something in our store that some of you that have shopped before in our store may have seen. It's called an essential oil emergency kit. Now, I absolutely love my essential oil emergency kit. I do not leave the house, like the property, without this, just in case I need it. So what this kit contains, it contains 2 little booklets here that tells you how to use essential oils. So you have one that is called Essential Oil Support for First Aid. And then you have a booklet that just tells you how to use the essential oils. So just tell me an ailment. Mention an ailment to me.
A headache, like you said earlier.
All right.
Hopefully that's in there, easy to get to.
Headaches, peppermint.
There you go.
Past tense. It's another one that we have here in our store called past tense. In the name, it helps for tense to be in the past, tension to be in the past. So it's called past tense. We talked about deep blue. So it tells you the ailment, and then it tells you what oils it's good for and how to use it. And then also it has the oils themselves, and then it'll tell you, okay, like, for example, lavender. What's lavender good for? Lavender is good for allergies, anxiety, for burns, for chapped lips, for dry skin, for insomnia. So it mentions all the different things that some of these oils are good for. So people that may not necessarily be as familiar with oils, they can purchase these little books and it'll help them to know what oils to use for different things. But in addition to that, this emergency kit comes with a little pouch here. It comes with a carabiner too that you can attach to your purse or your bag or anything like that. It comes with little bottles that you can use to fill with whatever oils you want. These tiny little bottles. And then, so you don't forget what you put in the bottles, it has the labels here.
Stickers.
The stickers. So it's a wonderful little thing to handy that you could use. Now, just to show you here, I have my I have this pouch here with me. I have the breathing one. Now you can fit about 45 to 55 drops in here, depending on how thick the oil is. So this is for, I have a breathing one here. I have the deep blue one that we have it in cream form, and we have it in oil form as well. You have deep blue here for pain. I have a digestion one for digestive issues. Then there's a frankincense I mentioned for headaches. Well, frankincense, first of all, it has multiple uses. People use it for all kinds of things, but I specifically use it for headaches. Then we also have here ginger. Now ginger, I get motion sickness. So ginger has been a wonderful, wonderful helper for me when I am car sick. Lavender, it helps with sleep. It helps for burns. It helps for headaches. So it's on the go. I don't have to worry about taking my big bottles with me. This is a cute little pouch. It holds up to 16 oils. Lemon, it's great for disinfecting. It's great to help you with environmental cleanliness if you want to breathe this in while you're in an area that doesn't smell so great. Lemongrass, I love lemongrass for, it's great for muscle cramps, lemongrass and peppermint. So we have that handy as well. We have a tea tree oil, great disinfectant, great also for bug repellent. Then we have our guardian or on guard or thieves oil for our immune system. Oregano also for our immune system. Peppermint, again, for headaches, also for tummy issues. The peppermint is great for if you have indigestion as well, or any kind of stomach disturbance. And a little bottle here too with a carrier oil. Those of you that may not know what a carrier oil, it helps carry the essential oil further into the area you put it on. And specifically the carrier oil that we have in our store, we have fractionated coconut oil, which is coconut oil that is liquid at all times, so it doesn't become solid, and that feels wonderful. We use it for our massages when we have people here come for massages. And then we have our organic castor oil, which you could also use as a carrier oil, but it is a little bit thicker. Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of castor oil, we also have miracle oil. Sometimes people don't know what this is. Like, miracle oil, what is that? Yeah. It's actually castor oil with essential oils already mixed in. And the essential oils are orange, lemon, eucalyptus, frankincense, and peppermint. And it's good for pain, for inflammation, skin imperfections. It's a variety of things. So it has all the benefits of castor oil plus essential oils. Now, because it has essential oils, I know people use castor oil in their eyes or certain sensitive areas. You might not want to use this one for those cases. You might want to use the pure castor oil. But for other locations, this miracle oil is really good on the body.
Hey, Vanessa, What are
Yeah.
the benefits of castor oil? You mentioned in addition to the benefits of castor oil, and I know most of our audience is aware this is one of our most important products, popular products. But could you review that also for those who are not clued into how awesome castor oil is?
Okay, so castor oil, in addition to it being a wonderful carrier oil, even though it can be a little bit thick, it helps break what's the word?
I'm thinking tumors or growths.
Yes,
or
tumors or
hardnesses.
growths, scar tissue. It helps to, that's why people also use it for cataracts. It helps to dissolve the cataracts. If you have bunions, if you have, I'm looking for a specific word, growth of some form, something, bumps or something that you have in your body that's foreign, you put that on there and it'll help dissolve it with time naturally. So it's kind of like a natural surgery almost. Instead of you having to go in there surgically, it kind of helps cysts. If you have any tumors, breast tumors or ovarian tumors, or what else can you use it for? Just so many things. It's just great for the skin as well, just for skin imperfections. People are using it also for hair growth. What else is castor oil? It's just so many things that castor oil is good for. I don't remember all of it.
Well, I didn't mean to get you off track because you're on the oils topic. And, I think we do need to have, a 70-hour essential oils seminar that we need to put together because there is so much. And sometimes the essential oils conversation might feel overwhelming to people, which is why that nifty little kit is so cool. Because you can get somebody into essential oils you don't even have to fill all 16 of those slots. You can say, here are 8 essential oils. Give it as a gift, and they carry it with them. And these are what these 8 do. And you learn about them one step at a time. And then as you learn about the function and use of more oils, you fill it with the 16 most important ones you want to always have with you. And when I look at that little zipper pouch kit, the emergency essential oils kit, I'm thinking that's one of the neatest gift ideas because it's special,
It's interactive. You kind of customize it as you go and make it yours.
Yes, like my husband and I, he has his and I have mine, because there's certain oils that I particularly use more, and there's some that he might have. So it's nice to, even as a spouse or as a family, for each individual to perhaps have their own, because every body is different.
Yeah, exactly.
Indeed. Well, did you have more on oils? Essential oils?
I think for now that's okay. That's
okay.
good.
Okay. The answer to that is yes, but there's other things to talk about too. Whole elderberry. Do you want to talk about whole elderberry?
I can just go on with this.
I know. You have a passion for this, and that's why people love being with you guys, because you love what you do. Whole elderberry whole. You want to talk about that?
So elderberry here, that's a wonderful thing also for the winter. It's a great for the immune system as well. So and it's kind of tasty. Elderberry, it's a berry. So it has the instructions here on how to make it, and it's one of the best. You'll probably see a lot of advertisements for people that are selling elderberry syrup. Well, we have the elderberry tea that you can make yourself. We don't actually have the syrup, but there's the elderberry tea that you can probably purchase and try out. And if you like it and you want to make there's probably a lot of recipes out there that you can find to make your own syrup.
It's actually in here because I watched that with Aaron, the DVD set we were looking at. He
go.
talks about how to make tinctures and syrups and fomentations and poultices, every kind of different thing, and what's the difference between those. So there's your school book or your DVDs, and then these are the herbs that you'll use for those components.
And that's a wonderful thing too that we like here, is to teach people how to become as independent as possible, because you can go and you can purchase something out there. You can purchase a cough syrup, or you can purchase things of that nature. And you can purchase the natural ones that are made as well, yes. But it's really nice also for you to have the knowledge on how to make it yourself, so that if you need to make it yourself or teach somebody else how to make it, especially when finances are not on your side specifically and you want to just do things yourself, it's just a wonderful thing to be able to be independent a little bit on that. Even if you do have the option of purchasing some of these things naturally, knowing how to do things yourself is always going to be a plus.
Absolutely.
So education is one of the high things we like here.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. I mean, this is an experience where we learn about how to use things. Breast balm.
Breast balm. All right. So we have women. this is more on the woman's side here, that have either fibrocystic breasts or they have different pain issues in that area. And breast balm is really, really helpful to massage in that area. It also helps with the lymphatic support. Because as you know, part of our lymph is here by our armpit area, the axillary area. So as you're massaging, you're helping to drain out some of your lymph, because your lymphatic system needs help. That's why rebounding is a wonderful thing that helps for your lymphatic system. And then the breast balm, as you massage that area, it helps also to drain out some of the different toxins and things that accumulate in your lymphatic system in that area, which causes some of the pain, the tenderness, the different little bumps that women have there, and things of that nature.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, what did we not hit? Oh, we've got questions. Hi, what do you have available for eczema in babies where the skin is itching? Asks Rose of Sharon. Thank you for being with us.
I would say the skin salves would be good. We have a number of them. We do have calendula here, but we have that one, and then we have other ones from different brands that we didn't put on here on our website. It's the skin salves. That would be gentle and good. Depending on how old the baby is, you could use lavender, but you want to make sure you dilute it. So you could be like 2 to 1 with a carrier oil. And the carrier oil could be fractionated coconut oil, it could be castor, it could be avocado oil, it could be grapeseed oil, it could be hemp seed oil, olive oil. I mean, a variety of oils you could use as your carrier oil. But for babies, because their skin is so sensitive, you want to make sure you dilute the essential oil really well. Or like I mentioned, there is the salves too that could be gentle for that, not just for babies, but just for adults as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Maria asks, are the chicken seasons safe to eat? The ones you made from Living Spring, those chickens, are they safe? Chicken seasoning, is that safe to eat?
Which one is that? That's the same one we use for the recipes.
Yeah, well,
the broth, sometimes it'll be there.
I'm not sure what they mean by safe. If we didn't feel they were safe, we wouldn't be selling them, but they're vegan chicken style seasoning. I guess you could also, it's a personal preference as well when it comes to sensitivities or ingredients, because we also have some people here that purchase things and they don't respond necessarily well to it. And it's not because there's a problem with the product itself, but they may have a sensitivity to it, an allergy or something like that. So you can check it out, try it. If your body doesn't respond well, then you can just not have it or try something different.
Ingredients
Great.
are listed on the website.
Yes, ingredients are listed.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Maria Flores. Welcome. And Anna Lee asks, Shalom, Scott. Oh, yeah. The black eye. These take forever to resolve, so thank you for your concern, but I don't even feel it. It doesn't even matter. And she recommends, same guest here, a commenter, Annalie, says the book Back to Eden is phenomenal. Thank you for that contribution.
Yes, we do have that book. I don't have it up here.
Now, yeah, you didn't fit it all on the table, did you?
We're about to, we got it right here.
There it is.
And this is one of the books that Barbara O'Neill highly speaks of. It's like what does she call it? Like I forgot the term she uses, like an encyclopedia or
yeah, it is.
What does she
it's
call
a wealth of information in there. That's the one we started with. Now we have the herbal PDR and a lot of stuff, and the sustained meat. When you have all those together,
the sustained meat too.
Yeah,
she created her own, Barbara.
Yeah.
So this is a huge book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an encyclopedia, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to say it.
It's a great resource. Angela, you asked a question entering into my specialty on mental health with children, and particularly was, as folks know who've been watching live, I did a presentation on the media exposure. Hyperstimulating media is going to be the biggest cause for the whole list of mental health disruptions in childhood and youth especially. So if you can cut back as close to 100% as possible on any screen time, overstimulating media particularly, that's going to help a ton, and replace that with nature exposure and a healthy diet, not a bunch of sugar, whole plant food diet, plenty of water to drink, dim lights in the evening, to bed early, bright lights in the morning, outdoor light, blue light, near infrared light early after the sunrise. And you start getting all of these health, the laws in place, the wholeness, the whole Barbara O'Neill package. And if you can, find which of those we might not quite be emphasizing as much, let's try pedal to the metal and see if we can handle this ADHD with natural methods. And Dr. Victoria Dunkley just takes people on a media fast. In her book, Reset Your Child's Brain, she reports on depression, anxiety, ADHD, all of them. A 100% media fast for 3 to 4 weeks causes 80% of her patients to have the majority of their symptoms gone. So you can solve a lot of that way. Now, also on the table, guys, what kind of stress reducing types of things do you have for those of us who might be struggling with stress, anxiety, ADHD, anything that you have that can take us over the top in addition to the nature's laws?
Well, I did mention the relax tincture, and then we have our lavender. We have even the sleeping salve here that can help calm. Actually,
Sleepy tea.
Sleepy tea. Oh yeah, we have our sleepy tea blend here as well that helps to calm at nighttime. Let me just see if our little handy book here tells us anything.
Listen to instrumental music helps me a lot, like hymns. I play piano, and things like that. They help. Music basically without words really helps calm the mind down. Thank you. Calm. I'm going to be just right back. I don't know if you got a QR code that you can do this. Calcium Calm. We actually give this to the guests every day. And you put it with warm water, just a little bit. And this is calcium. And it's me have the magnesium. Well, yeah, magnesium. I take a thing at night that has magnesium in it as well. And I have zinc also. That really helps me sleep because I used to have insomnia. So. And
it's in the name right there.
Yeah, because calm. This I think they've got 3 different flavors of this now. There's like a raspberry, there's a citrus, and there's just an unflavored one.
Actually, even it says it on here, supports a healthy response to stress.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Day, or you can have it at night. I'm trying to tilt it where it won't have a glare. But this one is awesome. If you're talking about a product you can do those other things too,
No, I endorse that. I take it.
It helps.
Yeah, that magnesium, we're not getting enough magnesium. You got to, eat your nuts and seeds and legumes and stuff. But a little bonus with the magnesium is going to take you to the top. TR asks, does castor oil help with polyps?
It could. I've actually asked Barbara O'Neill that question before because people want to know. I don't know where the polyps are, but I know some people have asked, what can I do for nose polyps? And that was one of the things that Barbara longer because depending on the size of the growth, what's causing it, how long it's been there and all that, but she always says this, consistency is the key.
That's it. Just
like you also said, Scott, regarding the Revita Living, it's that consistency of doing this over and over and over again and making sure you're regular on these things. It's just applying it. You could try it. The worst thing that could happen is just that it takes a little bit long or it doesn't happen, but just try it and see. And remember, every person is different. Every person is different. You wanna also take that into consideration because sometimes certain bodies will respond faster than other bodies. So don't get discouraged if you're doing it for a week or 2 or 3 or 4 and you don't notice a difference. Just keep doing it for months and eventually you will hopefully see a change.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I heard the music start. So I wonder if we're winding down the questions, but a reminder there to get the Barbara O'Neill book, Sustain Me, and that's the acronym too. So as we cruise to the end here, what did we forget? I know you didn't necessarily get a chance in questions to identify every item that's tied for your favorite, but. What did we miss before we say bye to our live audience tonight?
All right. Want to go ahead and mention if anybody's suffering with allergies, we have our antihistamine tea here for allergies. We have here our, you might have seen in the cooking class 2 weeks ago, we have our agar powder here. If you wanted to make any hard cheeses, you want to make your own cheese, or you want to even make the flan that we prepared 2 weeks ago. This is a vegan gelatin. We have our cayenne pepper that can be used externally and internally. Those people that like to have spicy food, you want to have a little kick to your food, do it the natural way. Put some cayenne pepper over your food. It's great for your to help with your blood pressure as well. It helps with lower blood pressure. And then we talked about our chia. I want to mention about our chia just quickly. I actually know some people that, and even here at our lifestyle center, when they eat a lot of chia, whether it's they put it in smoothies or they make a chia gel, you mix it with some water and it becomes a gel, and you take that with your meals, it actually helps your bowels to be more regular. So we do have a colon tea that we sell. That's one of our top sellers as well, that we sell out of often. So we're out of stock of that right now, but we will have some more soon. But we also have our chia seed here. Cynthia Bonus, who was you saw 2 weeks ago when she was leading out in the holiday cooking class, whenever we would have programs and she was involved in the program, she would be pushing that chia gel, and she's like, chia, 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 chia. And it would really help people with their bowels to clean that out, to make sure that they're going regularly. It's a wonderful thing. Our chia there. And I do want to mention, if you want to switch with me real quick.
Trade places.
We have people that come to our center, and they'll notice that everything's natural. We have natural cleaning products, we have natural hand soap, we have natural dish soap, natural laundry soap. Everything's natural. And one of the things that we do here is we mix Castile soap with some water, and we put it in these pump bottles. Now, this little pump, this is 8 ounce. We have it white and we have it black. So it's whatever your preference is, it's 8 ounce, and you would do a 1/4 cup of Castile soap, and the rest you fill with water. Now, you can do a scented Castile soap. We have peppermint, we have almond, we have tea tree, we have lavender, peppermint, tea tree, almond. Am I missing one?
The baby one.
Oh, and then we have unscented. Now, if you want to do the unscented one, you can then choose an essential oil, and you put about 10 or so drops of the essential oil that you want, or you can mix it up and put that in there, and you can create your own fragrance if you don't want to, if you want to create your own. So I really, really love the Castile soaps, making your own natural soap, using little pump bottles. And like I mentioned, with our soaps right here, wonderful to use these soaps. I want to mention one thing about one of these soaps in particular. It's the lemon poppy one. You can't really tell, but just in the name, poppy, it has little poppy. I don't know. Let's see if you can. No, you can't. Unless I take it out, I can't show you. But it has poppy seeds all over there. You might be able to tell on the camera, little black dots. And this one, which is different than the other ones we have, I've used it directly on my skin, and it feels so nice. It's like exfoliating. So not only do you have the cleaning power, but you also have now the exfoliation, which helps with the circulation. It helps get rid of the dead skin cells that you have. And it helps to bring nutrients to the skin, because you're doing that exfoliation, that friction, which helps with your skin health as well. So just some things that you may want to consider. And of course, we have so many other things on our store that we couldn't put everything here, but you can of course always check out our store, click on the actual product page, and it will tell you there more information that we perhaps couldn't share tonight because of time. So
I was just going to say, when in doubt, just buy 2 of everything.
Or buy 1 of everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
One for you and one for the loved one. What a great time of year where we get to think of others, how to improve other people's health, and buy something for ourselves in the meantime, because health is worth it, right? There's nothing better other than just giving to the needy, like in a philanthropic way. There's nothing better to invest our money in and than our own health, because then we will be of greater use to our Creator in service to humanity when we are at our best. So guilt-free expenditures here, because it's an investment in your development and how God can use each one of us in our sphere of life. So take us to the close, Vanessa, as we end together tonight.
I wanted to just mention that some of you might not have noticed, but on our website we have a new thing now that if you are a new customer, or even if you're not a new customer, we do have a 10% discount code that you will see on our website. If you go to our shop, on the top it says new customer, please enter this code in the checkout. But even if you are a customer that has been ordering from us before, you still have the opportunity to use that code at least once. Everybody has the ability, whether you're new or not, to use that code at least once to get a 10% discount. So as you are thinking about your holiday shopping and you're thinking about maybe some of these things yourself, take advantage that it's still early and Christmas is not around the corner yet, to order some of these things and take advantage of that discount.
Yeah, do it this week. Do it now. You want to be prepared because that's gonna happen. It's gonna be on top of us in no time.
I want to also mention, if you could, for those of you that are familiar with our website or shopping with us before, to just have a little grace with us, have some grace as we are trying to fill our store. We do have some of our suppliers are out of stock themselves, which makes us out of stock, or because of all the holiday shopping from Black Friday, there's delays and things arriving as well. So we are trying to fill up our shelves as soon as we can. But hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to have more things in stock.
Well, thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Josh. And thank you to all of our live viewers and those who are watching this on the archive. We love each one of you. You're a part of this LSR community. And thanks, of course, to our producer, Christian Digital Network. From likes to lives changed. Please scan that QR code. Subscribe to the CDN YouTube channel, and we will be back on Wednesday next week at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. I'm your host, Scott Ritzema with LSR Live, and we'll bid you all farewell and happy holiday season. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. And next week, our guest will be Ron Meinhardt with an M on natural remedies. And a very important and popular subject as we discuss again next time. So stay tuned and see you then. Farewell.
Scott?
Yes.
Hello. Hi. Before we just sign off, there's just one more thing I wanted to mention. Besides those of you that are thinking about holiday shopping as well, besides the code that I mentioned on our shop for our products here, stay tuned next week. We are going to be running a special on our online detox course. So anybody that may be wondering or desiring to take our online detox course either for themselves or to gift it to somebody, we are going to be running a holiday special next week. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you check out our website for that information.
Excellent. We'll see you all then. Bye-bye.